So today we're going to be brainstorming the optimal way to train for a 2-person horse costume.
I would say yay, not nay.
Wacky, wavy, inflatable horse.
And the mum's laughing. I'm like, I don't even care right now. The whole gym's looking at me, but I'm like, oh yeah. Like as the guy goes, like, dong. Listen, if you're exercising and you squeeze, sometimes air comes out. So I have to always be careful with what I say. Is again, when I first came into the gym in Northern Ireland and Ireland, instead of saying hello, how are you, we say, oh, what's the crack? And it's CRAIC. So I was walking into a gym, the health and fitness industry, and I was like, anyone any crack from the weekend? And
oh my God.
everyone was like,
Sarah,
who's the druggy trainer? Maybe that's why she's happy all the time. I don't know. You do have to be careful, and I've definitely learned to pronunciate and not use certain words, because sometimes I unintentionally offend people.
I guess American food didn't really stack up to what you were eating.
I was so lucky in Northern Ireland that everything was so fresh and everything was farm to table, because everything was 10-20 miles away. So, and it rains a lot, so we have great fields, and all our food is organic. You don't have organic sections, it's just all good food. Whereas here,
you have to hunt out the real food, and you're like, oh, by default it's not real, but you have a real section.
And then you have to check to make sure where it was grown. It's like, okay, well, did they have a thing recently?
Well, she was telling me too, it's grass fed, but then it's like, is it grass finished? And you're like, oh, I never even heard of grass finished. So what does that mean?
And unfortunately, there are hundreds of foods that the FDA, the version of the FDA in Europe, bans because it's so bad that they have here.
Of course.
So that's a big
If it's not food over there, shouldn't it be food here probably, right? If one country says this isn't food, the other country should probably be like, whoa, why'd you come to that conclusion?
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're it's food. It's food, whatever.
Yeah. When I came over,
I know, just
I was cooking just my normal, as I always do. I buy my vegetables, chicken, for example, and sweet potato, just a typical meal. And I was like, why is there 3 cups of water in the pan with the chicken? I just bought chicken breast. So, and why are the chicken breasts the size of turkey breasts? Everything, you have to be careful.
All right, Sarah. So here is your scenario. 2 people hire you to hit their fitness goals. We're going to call them front legs and back legs. They both have unlimited money and time to devote to a 1-year body transformation. Their goal is to be the perfect fit for a dual-person horse costume. Front legs wants an amazing upper chest, and back legs is primarily concerned with a strong butt and legs. Also, that person wants, a strong core, because they have to be in the bent over position all the time. I don't know where they put their hands. I guess they probably wrap around the waist, or maybe they get down the pant legs or something. I'm not really sure where that.
Hopefully around the waist.
Once you got
this day and age, let's
back,
keep it.
What do you think their names could be?
Charlie.
That's crazy.
I was thinking Charlie Horse.
Oh, Charlie Horse, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Front person or the back person?
I would say Charlie in front.
Okay, so Charlie's in front, and now we need a back person name.
I'm trying to think of something that might be actually fast.
Oh, yeah, Fox or Jet or...
Charlie Jet.
There's Usain Colt instead of Usain
Bolt.
Oh,
you see? This is, we could get it.
You could not have Usain Bolt in the back and some guy named Charlie.
You put Bolt in the back, and then he would just be up on 2 legs all the time.
He would just throw him up on the shoulder. It would just be like a horse that just and then totally wins first place every time. Charlie and Usain, is that good?
Cool. I definitely love the Usain Colt. The most ridiculous, the better.
What gender do you think would be great? Male, female, transgender, mixed gender?
I'm going to keep it all just neutral, and the one with the best glutes.
They identify as glutes.
Yeah, just glutes.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep it. Just keep it I would say probably male horses.
Are they in poor shape, medium shape, or fit shape? Oh,
well. Typically, I've ever seen a pantomime horse. They're getting ready for Christmas pantos. That's a big thing in UK. So if they would go the opposite, they would be coming to you in the summer to get ready for their winter bod.
Oh, interesting.
That's different.
You never know. And when do horses do their mating?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. On a Sunday?
They mate during the spring.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna go into mating season looking like this. So we need to hire Sarah. We need to get in shape, and we need to be the best looking horse out there. Tendency to grunt, 1 through 10.
10.
Okay, so they're grunters.
I would say yay, not nay.
Hey.
Okay, do you think Charlie has any kids or pets?
Oh, there's always a goat.
Kids?
Yeah. They 5.
Oh my gosh,
She has a
5
full
children?
family.
5 kids.
Okay, that's great. Yeah,
From a different marriage.
all from different marriages. Okay.
Well, he's had a great mating season. I would say Charlie sounds like he's going to be late.
You think one's gonna be late and the other's on time?
Yeah.
I guess they drive separate.
Oh, well, in 2 separate carriages.
Oh, okay. They just come together to be a horse.
Yeah.
Hussein has to drop off all his kids, you know?
Yeah, that's true. He's got a minivan and like he's got all these kids. I feel like Charlie's probably got a like a convertible or something.
Yeah, like a Maserati.
I don't know. Charlie, who's late, might have a praise. He might be just chugging along.
Say Usain Colt comes to you and he's like, "Hey, I've heard you're great at training, and I want to get all trained up." How would you assess his personality?
It's literally just as simple as just conversation, and I have kind of
And then you let your instinct kick in over whether or not.
Questions that I've been doing for years that I kind of know how to make like a good general assessment for people.
You know how to decipher who's a starter and a finisher?
You can it's kind of hard to describe sometimes. It's almost just like a feeling that you can get.
Okay, you can like feel a vibe.
Yeah, you just get like a big sense of energy of like
like if they're excited or if they're kind of like
even just the energy from people. It's just you can tell from different energy levels of who has maybe read about this and maybe thought about it, might want to make a change. And then there's some people that come in who's high energy and really wants to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if these two guys come in and you're like, oh, so you'd be like, I want to train them separately, you think?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you just think Charlie's going to need a whole different mental.
Yeah. So that's why I always believe in the word personal training. Because everyone is a little bit different.
Right.
And everyone develops differently. They need different skill sets like brought into them just of how they can work on themselves. And even whenever they're not with me, I even am assessing that of like, okay, how much extra help they need.
So how much time would you give? Like an hour per day for each of them and then a third hour together? Or how would you schedule out there?
Well, like any sports development, I take a look at what they're going to be. And if they're going to be a horse,
They're going to be a horse.
They're going to need different muscle groups worked on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So especially Usain Colt is going to need strong glutes. Yeah. More flexibility and a lot stronger core for his back. And then Charlie at the front is just going to need to chill a little bit more. So he might not need just as much, which will also work. That's why I'm putting him in the front.
Tell me about the workout routine you would design for Charlie first off. He stands up. Like, so he needs a broad shoulder probably.
Broad shoulders, good neck. Good neck,
yeah.
just
horse heads because they got those noses and stuff. And like that neck has to.
Good neck, good back. A lot of back to support.
Well, he's standing up straight though. The guy in the back needs.
But even all that extra head that he's got at the front there, that's gonna, it's gonna be pulling him forward.
So you'd work on those like neck routines I see sometimes.
A lot of neck routines. Yeah, if you ever see someone doing a weird thing where they're like trying to do it on like a leg extension and they're doing it with their necks. It's not great for your spine, like, to be putting all that pressure on. But if you are training in a contact sport or something like that and you need that strength in your neck, then it's really essential. So Charlie, again, I would do a lot of core, a lot of back, so he's maintaining his upright posture.
Okay.
So if he's got to keep nice and steady
it's
upright.
Definitely in fact, and it looks fancy too. Like we don't want this horse to look all like, you know what I mean? Like that's
a tired
horse.
They
stand so
strong glutes and they're just flopped at the front.
yeah.
The sad horse.
Okay, and you do it 1 hour a day, 6-7 days a week?
Yeah. Charlie, he sounds like he's probably going to be a 3-day a week.
Oh, okay.
We'll slowly lure him in.
Oh, I see. It's a mental game you play.
Yeah.
Hay bales?
Yeah, hay bales. Yeah.
Don't you see? Like I've seen like weird workouts, like
you flip them, toss them, jump over. Yeah. We've done.
Okay.
You
so
always
would you
see
design
them
it all around hay bales,
and training in the sand as well. Get their ankles strong.
Oh.
Yes, they have to have strong.
What do you think about this? A pony goes to the doctor and tells the doctor, I think I am sick. I have this terrible sore throat. So the doctor assures him, it's okay. You're just a little horse.
Oh.
You guys like it?
I do like that.
What does a horse say when it falls over?
I don't know.
I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Oh.
You like that one?
Well, what do you call a 3-legged donkey? A wonky?
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Did you hear about the man who was hospitalized with 6 plastic horses inside him?
No.
No, you guys didn't hear about that? The doctor described his condition as a stable.
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine Trey as a costume horse?
Yeah. Oh,
everyone would be like, I've never seen a horse bent over.
Be like flopping over. That'd be amazing.
It'd be like wacky, wavy, inflatable horse person.
Yeah, that's what it would look like.
Have you ever seen a horse do a somersault and a backflip over the jump? Like, yeah.
That would be amazing because you could, if you were the front, if you were Charlie's position, you could like lay all the way back and people would be like, what is that horse doing? Like looking up, looking down.
Yeah.
That would
Probably
be
all the way
pretty wild.
under, right? Can you look all the way under your leg?
Yeah, like a back bend.
Yeah.
And then do like a little oof. Yeah.
Oof. That would be hilarious. You'd make the
But I'd
greatest
have to use my
pantomime horse.
arms.
Well, and you'd have to watch out for that big nose too, coming through your legs.
Yeah. Nose, coming through my legs.
Yeah. It would be tough.
My mind went somewhere else for a couple seconds.
Okay, moving on to Usain Colt. How would you structure his workout then?
If we got unlimited money.
Yeah, you have unlimited money.
Yeah, we'll be in the water, salt water, great for the joints for the horse.
Wow, you bring Charlie in there?
Yeah, put Charlie in. Might like a swim.
Or
Well, it's really good for the joints. The salt's really good for the joints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Which is also good because humans also need to recover in salt baths.
Oh, that is true. I do that actually.
Oh, you do? Salt baths?
Yeah, I didn't think.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I thought of it differently when we were talking about it.
What's your salt bath? Just a
like
bathtub
epsom
with salt? Oh, epsom salt.
yeah.
I've heard of that too.
Mm-hmm. I
You
put a
probably
whole
need
bunch in there.
And you feel good afterwards?
Oh yeah, it's great because I'm like sore every day. So it's awesome.
Especially for what you do. And your joints are getting really put under major pressure, so you would definitely need a salt bath.
Okay, moving on to Usain Colt. How would you structure his workout then? So I guess you're at the farm, or would you bring him to the gym?
Oh, to the gym. Yeah, he's all glutes, so legs 3 days a week.
Oh, you can do it that much without burning them out?
Yeah, lots and lots of legs and lots of core. His arms just need to be able to grip in and stay strong.
And lots of heavy weights?
Yeah,
with
heavy
low reps, because you want...
So if he was...
But he's got to run for a long time too. Don't you want endurance? Or
if he was doing... So I would do 3 days, and I would do... So, and Dylan now knows all these terms now.
Yeah.
So you do anterior, which is all the front,
Okay.
and then posterior is all the back. So you can separate, like, because you've got so many different leg muscles. So you can separate them all out. You can separate their days, and then you can actually turn in one day where it's a little bit more high rep and endurance. And if you do high rep, that kind of makes it cardiovascular as well.
people with headphones on, do you think that's helping him out, or would you do no music, or just listen to
I'm trying to think of like some
horse
instant
sounds?
horse. Yes.
Or what's that sound? You know the horse sound? Or I'm thinking of like at a horse race. Like a bugle, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Or like, do you think that would be motivating for these guys at the gym?
Just let them go, or just like have the cannon go and just let them just straight off and treadmill run.
That would be great. Yeah. Oh, cardio. I guess we should talk cardio because I'm guessing this is a race. No, I don't know. I don't even. Wait, what do we say? It's a mating season, so it's not really a race. They just need to be. Unless they have to chase down their.
Depends on how Millie Phillies they want to like me with. So
I don't know how much you want to. How do you want to? So considering they're getting ready for mating season, how do you want to split the cardio weight time?
So I would personally do. If you got the 3 days a week for his legs, he's then going to want to try and hit your cardio after doing leg weights. Now,
you like it after?
I personally do it before because I'm a runner, so most of my training is done for running, but I would do it after the weights, and then he would just hit it like really good intervals. He'll be ready for mating season. But music Definitely. Like, I've done loads of studies. I almost did my dissertation on that, but it's been done so many times. But all studies have been shown 90% of the time that music is a motivating factor.
Oh, wow.
And it helps you perform that little bit more. Yeah, so it really, really helped. And me personally, I love listening to music, and it depends totally on what mood I'm in. But like today, I ran and watched Top Gun. And I was, because I was doing sprints, and I was like, I feel the need for speed. Yeah, I did it. So it really helped.
Yeah, well, and if I don't have headphones in, I always hear other people just singing out loud. So I feel like I get what I need to out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's another funny one where you have to be careful with that, because sometimes people don't understand of how loud they sing. And well, for an example, I used to train a client in the evening, and we actually used to play a guessing game of this guy sang so loudly. We used to play guess the tune, and every time she got it wrong, I made her do extra burpees.
They're just singing out loud. Yeah, because you lose track of how loud you are.
Yeah, and people, because they can't hear, there's such good noise cancelling now, they can't hear, and the noise level they get, you can hear them at the other end of the gym.
Wow.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever heard? Any like?
This guy, I knew, he was a really lovely man, and he obviously was quite religious, and he went on to the elliptical and would sing hymns for an hour.
That's interesting.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, it was quite, he had a really nice voice, so it was kind of nice.
Oh my gosh, hymns?
So got
Only
very
on
spiritual.
Sundays or all throughout
all the time?
Oh,
yeah.
Every day. Yeah,
He wouldn't work out on a Sunday. He was very religious. So.
He's like, well, I'll work out, but I'll just do hymns while I'm here.
Yeah, he was like, he had a lovely voice, so if you have a great voice, go at it.
Would you use a bell to help train these guys?
Yeah, well,
Charlie and Usain Colt?
That's a sports psychology thing. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Seabiscuit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he used to train the horse in the dark, and he trained the horse. So there's a thing. There's a famous psychologist called Pavlov, and it was called Pavlov's dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And he used to train the dog by a sound of it. Well, that's why a lot of dog trainers do it. That if you have that click and then give them a treat, then they associate the click with like something good.
Heard that like they'll salivate ahead of time.
Yeah. In horse racing, they sound the bell, and then when they know in the bell that's when they go. So it makes them go quicker.
So for these guys, you should bring a bell to every workout, don't you think?
Yeah.
And like, at least at the start of the workout, or maybe
it wouldn't be weird at all. Me standing, like dong, like as the guy goes sprinting on the treadmill.
No, it wouldn't be weird at all. Except we work out at a farm with hay bales, and
it's like, what are you talking about? I'm just like training my pantomime horse here.
Two guys who seem to have nothing in common, but want to be ready for mating season in a pantomime horse. But besides that, nothing weird at all. Peeing and farting, you're just like, oh, it's normal, happens to everybody.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
and I'm like, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
Listen, if you're exercising and you squeeze, sometimes air comes out. But I never like to have clients embarrassed, so I just quickly move on.
Yeah, move it along.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I said that was because I had an embarrassment. Well, it was half embarrassing after, but I was just so relieved. Mm-hmm. And in the last gym I worked at, there was glass windows into the indoor pool. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was with a client, and I usually am, when I'm with a client, I'm really zoned in. Mm-hmm. We're like in a bubble, but you have to always be aware. And I look over, and there's one of the swimming instructors with a client teaching her baby how to swim. And they have, I don't know, the noodles, the foam noodles. So
pool noodles, love them.
Guy swim instructor, female learning with her baby is over the noodle. His baby is over the noodle, and all of a sudden I see him and he's not really paying attention, and the baby falls off the noodle and is sinking into the pool. I am like with both hands like screaming and like, Steven, like screaming. The whole gym's looking at me. I'm like screaming, blah, blah, blah. He's looking at me weird, like, what is going on? I'm like, that baby, just scream like the baby, screaming. My client's freaking out, and then all of a sudden he grabs the baby by the leg and brings it up, and he has a dummy.
My gosh.
I never been more embarrassed / like relieved. He's dying laughing, the mum's laughing. I'm like, I don't even care right now. The whole gym's looking at me, but I'm like,
Unreal, that's hilarious.
So that's probably the most embarrassing one. I can take a punch in the ribs
you're
while
like a hero. That like shows you got hero instincts.
Right.
Or I was trying to break down the double glass. Like
no, but but Sarah does have hero instincts. Twice now she's told me stories where like there's been car accidents and she like runs over and like pulls her car and pulls the door off and like tells people like, are you okay?
That's true.
Tell those stories. Like what
I was so on Saturday I like to do my hill running outside. And this only happened 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Feels like once every few months you've got. I've only known you for like a year and we have 2 stories at least.
Yeah, so I was just on my way there. I was driving and I see this guy this car, I didn't know it was a guy at the time. He goes flying over. It was a huge big intersection and he goes flying over into the dirt, into the desert, into the sidewalk, goes flying up and the car then finally bounces. So I quickly, do a U-turn and stop because in my last year I've done a lot of first aid course, Steve, which again is so essential in the gym, which I'll tell you a story about that in a second. But yeah, you just kind of, your instinct kicks in. So I really am glad to have a bit of first aid. Unfortunately, the guy got out. I was relieved, but he was drunk, so that's not great.
Yeah,
Vegas. But I was glad of having the first aid because we did have one time all the guys that I worked with, it was a Monday morning, 11 people, and this guy just dropped and he had a heart attack. So all 11 trainers, it was either 9 or 11 of us, I can't even remember, but we all just our instincts kicked in. And I was so glad, friends, they were on it, CPR, everything. I mean, it must have been about 10 seconds he was on the ground. We had the ambulance there thankfully there was a hospital close by, and the ambulance was there in about 2 minutes, and he was back in the gym within 3 months. So that was a good story.
Quick action. Thanks to your quick action.
And just really glad that I work with such competent crew that everyone was just on.
Like your dad was in the car or something when you did this,
and
he was like,
that was
not
another
helpful
time.
at all.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was just going home on a Wednesday night and I heard this big crash, and these 2 girls had gone right into one of the giant lampposts that has the traffic lights, and I just saw the engine was out of the car on fire. And the car was in 50 feet away in lamppost, and again just instinct kicked in. I love my dad to pieces, but he has not done first aid training, so he was like, oh my god, that's someone's daughter in the car. I was like, you go away and I'll sort this out.
It's okay, I got it from here. You're dial 911, I'll take it for you.
Again, lucky that there was because I couldn't, one girl got out of the car and I couldn't see the other girl. It was so dark, and she had actually flopped into the passenger side, and it was not pleasant. She wasn't breathing normally, but thankfully I couldn't get the car open because it was in the lamppost. So there was a fire station just down the road, and they came up, and as we were trying to get the door open, they came with the big, we call them the jaws of life.
Jaws of life.
So So
I
know.
Don't drive near me, guys.
Once you got back in the car, what's the first thing your dad said to you?
It really affected him. He kept he was trying to find out of how. He was like, can I call the hospitals to find out if she's okay? I think he's being a dad, and he was like, what if that was you?
Make sure that their parents know about it and stuff like that.
So that affected him, and I was just kind of went to sleep later on. I was fine, but I was just glad I was there to help.
Hero instincts.
Well, there's nothing more I could have done, but dummy in the water. So glad.
No, that's why.
Still so happy with that.
That's a good story.
That's because I think I probably, if I was in the gym and I saw you straight, I was like, where's your head? It's just behind my feet. That's one thing, because I try to encourage. I think it's so important for parents to bring their kids into their sport, because I was on the side of the pitch watching my dad at 5 play field hockey. So I think that's so important. But just if you're a parent and bringing your kids to the gym, please just ask a trainer. That's what we're there for, to help, because I've seen I saw a little girl, she was watching her dad and she put her fingers on the weights.
Just
and
watching
she lost
them.
she lost the tip of her finger because it came down on the leg press.
My
it was
gosh.
little tiny, she was on 11 little tiny fingers. So just be cautious at the start.
But
It is safe. And just get some trainer to help you.
Yeah,
and
plus
then
maybe
it's
when
great.
they're kids, they can get familiar with the equipment and stuff as long as you do it in a safe way.
Yeah. Because we used to teach, in the last gym I worked at, we had a program. Again, I've done my junior athletic conditioning, so we used to teach 14-year-olds plus safely how to use all the equipment. And then by the 16, they were really competent, felt more confident coming into the gym. Because it's like those teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was 16. I was trying to impress the hot gym guy, and I fell off the treadmill.
What's the right age?
So I was like, I can go. I was trying to Usain Colt.
Didn't you leave your water bottle by guys you liked or something?
Oh yeah, I had all these tactics.
My water bottle. I forgot it here. Hey, what's your name?
Can you see my water bottle?
Oh my gosh.
What's your name?
That's a good one. I never thought of that actually.
Which it's always funny because I'm the old school, just sweaty mess, t-shirt to catch more sweat. I'm not the cute one which I'm fine because no one needs to see me like huffing and puffing in the gym. But yeah, I've had
we have got a few of those that come to the gym and they don't seem to sweat at all, but I don't think they're working out too much with their Instagram.
Listen, if they're looking really cute and it attracts guys, girls, whoever's into looking at them, and it attracts more people to the gym, all for it.
Yeah, you can just tell some days are for working out and some days are for photo shoots.
Yeah.
And they vary day by day, it seems like.
Yeah. And there's been I've had a lot of interest in people come into the gym, and just make sure always that your clothes are tight and don't go commando. Because sometimes bad things happen.
Right.
I've been squatting with friends.
Exposures?
Yeah.
Body?
Yeah.
Oh.
Really? I've seen some guys, squat and those Usain Colts when his glutes get a little bit too big. And I've seen the short split right in the middle.
Oh, dang.
And unfortunately.
Oh, and if underwear's not there to protect.
Yeah, that's
your vision.
No one needs to see that.
Your vision, your eyes.
I had a friend one time, and he was thankfully had like the same color boxers on. He's like, "I'll just keep going, it's fine." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just stand behind you so no one can see."
Because Charlie will never rip his pants because he's standing upright. But if he did, and the only person who'd see it would be Usain.
Yeah, that's.
But if Usain goes, then the whole audience.
Yeah, Charlie, as long as he's fully closed and. Yeah.
So we should probably
and he wears shorts that are tied properly.
Would you recommend 2 pairs of underpants?
Yeah, I would definitely one that is sturdy and holds everything in. I've had some like older gentlemen
let's just say testing of it, like no old Yeah,
I've had older gentlemen that are still reliving their youth and still wearing their 80s running shorts, and the lining is loose. And they're stretching and things fall out, and it's like it just ain't pleasant to see that in the gym.
So I know you've done some mascotting. Did you ever have any attire faux pas, or because you don't want to reveal that you're maybe a human under that bird or whatever you are?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the time of year, to be honest, because it gets really hot in there a lot of times, but usually just like, a shirt or shorts, or like a sports bra, shorts, or even pants sometimes.
What do you wear, Sheree? What's your kind of normal costume?
I did like different characters for like birthday parties. So I've done like Minnie, Mickey Mouse, like, what is it? The gecko. I've done that one quite a few times.
Like gecko?
Yeah. From
the insurance?
No, it's like this kids show, and it's like there's Owlette, Gecko.
What's Gecko's personality? How do you play it out?
Oh, well, fun.
Oh, like that's the fun one?
Yeah, fun.
Like, come on up, kids, play.
Yeah, he didn't talk, though. It was just like dancing, and just with the kids.
How many hours do you have to wear it for? Pretty long?
Usually like an hour or 2 for like each party.
And do you get, whenever you're trying things on, do you're like, okay, what can I bend double over in?
I actually haven't combined the two. And I don't think I could.
Yeah, you would rip the mascot. I mean, those things don't look very flexible.
No, it'd be hard because...
Could you do a back bend in a Mickey outfit?
The head would come off.
Yeah.
The head would come off.
Could you imagine that at a kid's birthday party?
They'd be terrified and traumatized for the rest of their life.
Funny.
Minnie's dead.
I know. That's actually... So I went to the University of Utah. Our mascot is named Swoop. It's a bird. And I tried out to be Swoop. And I remember the problem was I looked through the mouth. And when I went to hug kids, I only tried out once and I didn't get the gig, so I never did it again. But when I'd hug, then I'd hit them with the pecker, like that thing. And I remember they told me like 15 times before I put it on. They're like, the one thing you got to remember is that you got this big, pecker thing here, this big bird beak, and it's right above it, and it can hit people. So like we've all made the mistake, but it's something to be aware of. And like that's the big problem is don't hug or move in. And of course, first thing I did, like, kid runs up to me and I was like, and I hit him, and then I could just tell they were
Did
like,
you injure or split a head or anything?
I mean, kid just, he rolled it off, but he got hit, but he was still excited to be hugged by a big bird, so he was like just in the zone. But I'm sure later he's probably like, oh wow, that was from that thing. And his mom was probably like, oh, you okay?
And he hasn't held a pet bird since.
Yeah, it was fun though because they'd let us do our own creative thing, and this was a University of Utah volleyball game. So I brought 2 remote control toy cars, and like I picked some from the audience, and then we like raced them, and then I like purposely lost, and the kid won, and then I gave him like the celebration hug and then hit him, and I was like, dang, it just happens.
Got caught up in the moment.
Just like, what? Yeah. And then I never got a call back, so it's my one memory of being in an outfit.
Because you poked one kid.
Yeah. And one try, one kid is just too many.
Oh, do you think you're just like a bald eagle, just going in?
Are you looking through the mouth in your outfits?
Oh, it really depends. I mean, sometimes it is the mouth. I feel like a lot of times it is. Sometimes it's like a part of the face or a part of the eyes. Sometimes you can't even really see at all. And then you have to have someone like hold your hand to go to places. And then just like, this is where you live now, dance here.
Is there like a trust test section whenever you're buying your costumes?
What if somebody wants to kick you in the butt or something? You'll never know.
Well, I got a team of mascots with me. It's not going to happen.
So the mascots can all like back to back kind of create a circle of protection.
Yeah, a dance circle.
So I know, Sarah, tell us about how each year you do that Halloween like workout thing, because I know you've taught in a lot of costumes.
Well, I think, again, exercise should be fun. Everyone, I think, just has this thing of, I'm going to go to the gym and it's boring and I'm fed up. So by incorporating costumes and making it a little bit fun, it's going to make you want to go. And I think with classes, it's a good time just to get a little bit silly and do like different costumes. Like I was a ragdoll one time, and I pretended to like not be on, and then they had to wind me up at the start.
Oh, cool.
And I was all like robotronic exercises and things.
So you'd be like, I'm out of power, and then somebody would
like, just died, and then like they had to,
and then someone would pretend to wind you up and stuff. And you'd be like, you're perfect to train these horse guys.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I've done that. I've done a lot of crazy, stupid stuff.
Well, they're probably like, we came to you because we heard about your rag doll. We heard to wind it up perfect,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I would teach in that.
Method acting,
but it's, kind of, what you do, Shrey, of the different costumes. I did one in a T-Rex. The big inflatable one?
Yeah.
You've been in one of those?
Yeah.
I have not, but they look so fun.
Fun, not practical for exercise.
Probably not.
The T-Rex has those tiny arms.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to understand why they're so angry all the time. I'm like, they can't do anything. Like, they can't pick anything up for me. I was like doing a bench press and my range of motion was like 1 inch.
Oh God.
I'm like, that's maybe why they have
You think that's what made them the top predators of their era?
I think they were just really angry.
Whoa.
Because they're the little arms.
Can't pick anything up.
But
they couldn't get anything.
They were top predators for over 10 million years in the Cretaceous. All because of their little arms.
Huh.
10 million years?
Yeah, I think they were just really mad.
They probably were.
They couldn't do curls for the girls because their arms were so small. Yeah, that's probably why.
Although that's slightly a misnomer. I met a paleontologist who said that any T-Rex full size could lift 500 pounds with a curl. Although proportionally they're gigantic.
So what are we talking here? Kind of small percentage to...
I know the percentage wise, it's sort of pathetic looking, but just, you know what I mean? Like 500 pounds, that's a ton for a one arm curl. I don't know.
Maybe they were really mad that they could never be.
Well, if a T-Rex came over, he could out curl me, but then we'd have to, get the weight up to his.
Yeah. Or they could never be a pantomime horse.
Which would be
because they would never be able to reach the person in front of them.
No, they're top predators. They would just... I'll just eat
them. The horse. Yeah, snacks.
Okay, what about post-workout recovery? Like, what would you do for these two horse
I
people?
think this has gotten a lot better. This is something I really, approach with people. And Dylan, like, we took a lot of time to stretch, and I like, that's a really essential.
I never feel like I'm stretching enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so essential, because by loosening up your muscles, again, you're going to get more benefit out of your workout. Things like the Epsom salt baths are great. I've done a lot of research to try and prove that Epsom salt baths and really hot baths are as beneficial to ice baths.
Were they hot? Which one's better, hot or cold?
Or
maybe we could put the front legs in the back. Heat up the front legs, cool down the back legs.
Yeah, I think Usain Colt's going in the ice. Charlie's, that's too cold.
Or which one? Would you put them both in ice?
Yeah,
both
it's going to... Out of all the studies I've ever found, ice baths are more beneficial. And it's quite good, because it's getting trending right now. You'll see a lot of people, especially in LA, everyone's doing their breathing, their meditation, and their ice baths and things like that. But
can it just be cold water, or do I have to like dump ice in?
Well, I was laughing because recently I was like, I didn't again realize I had to specify every aspect of it, because I said to a client, okay, she's ex-ballerina, and she's like, yeah, I'm still really stiff from it. I said, well, maybe we should try an ice bath for you. She came in the next day and she was like, I don't think I did it right, Sarah. She was like, I'm covered in burns. I was like, what? I was like, well, how long did you stay there? And she was like, well, I was kind of like lying on the ice for like 5-10 minutes, she said. And I was like, well,
lying on the ice?
Yeah, I said, well, how much, ice did you put in the water? And she was like, oh, the water?
Oh.
So I said, so you literally...
So she just like had an ice bath with no water.
Sashimi'd herself. She literally put herself on, like, like you go to the fish counter
that's the worst,
and put herself on ice.
Oh, wow.
So anyone out there, fill it with water first and then dump ice in.
That's nuts. That reminds me, I had that, like, back in Utah years ago, I had a snow cone shack. It was like one of the first businesses I had, and we had a big freezer that we kept all the ice in, so we could shave it. And this guy who was our competitor, we went one time to scope out the competition, and he was laying on top of all his ice because he was just like sweating to death. We're like, bro, you can't just be like, he's like, it's in plastic, like it doesn't touch it. And I'm like, I don't know, man, you can't just be like hanging out on the ice, right. Like this is going into like little kids are coming up here.
Hey, listen,
but no, man, that'll burn you. Yeah, he was probably burned up too. Okay, so we have to remind Charlie and Usain, hey, remember to add some water.
Put water in first.
It's an ice water bath, not an ice bath.
Yeah. Don't lie on ice like you're in the fish counter at all places.
like all the fish, like the fish counter?
Yeah, that's instantly what I was thinking of. I was like, okay. That's, again, I forget of
so funny.
The basics of what I think of. That's where I'm bad of, like, you just think people know these things, and okay, I just need to make sure that the extra detail is thrown in there.
Okay, so what about let's talk to me about gym etiquette. Let's say Charlie, or probably Usain, sees a girl that he likes at the gym. Would you say that it's okay to walk up and like if he goes up and says, hey, I just wanted to say hi, I didn't know if you know who I am, but I'm the back legs for a pantomime horse, and I'm hoping to be the best in the world, like, whatever his game is, how would you say he could approach somebody either for friendship or wants to date them?
Well, just for starters, be nice. Don't be creepy about it. Just don't, like, again, personal space. And the big thing is, like, when someone's, they can kind of give you a gist of whether you want to hear someone talking to you or not. I mean, a lot of people wear earphones now, and a big telltale sign, if someone is not making eye contact with you, that is just leave me alone. Like, don't talk to me.
Like if you start walking up and then they see you
are purposely walking away from you, that's kind of a sign, like, don't go near them. If someone, always takes the earphones out, open, approachable, there's always funny memes, and you'll see people are no earphones, not looking at you, or just giant speakers like strapped to their head, like, I don't want to speak to you.
I have seen those big headphones and the hat, and like I was like, that person is does not want to talk to anyone. They're in the zone.
Yeah, we've sometimes celebrities come into the gym, and sometimes when they wear their sunglasses as well, that's a good telltale sign. And I again personally learned sometimes of, technology is different now, and sometimes people are on that. The first time I didn't know about AirPods, and I was training on the elliptical, and this person's training next to me, and I'm like training, crazy and answering his questions that he's asking, and then he keeps looking at me weird. I'm like, okay. So I'm down and doing these like super set of push-ups back on the machine, continue to answer all his questions that I think he's asking me, because I thought he was. Yeah, it turns out, it's Nicolas Cage, and he's on FaceTime.
Oh my gosh.
He's got the AirPods on, and I'm like, I'm very sorry.
Honey, hang on just one second. I need to tell someone what an AirPod is. Hold on. Oh, by the way, I'm actually talking on this little white thing.
This crazy person is asking me what we're having for dinner. Like, so
what was he saying that felt like you were talking to him?
Well, he was genuine. He was talking, again, I should have known, but I was really in the zone of training and not fully concentrating. And he was asking, what to buy from the store. And I thought he was asking about what's good for nutrition. So I answered every question he was asking.
You're going to want a lot of protein, so I'd recommend that. He's like, what the heck is going on?
And then I thought it got a bit weird, and he was like, no, I meant the toy store. So I also said, I was like, I don't know, like baby dumbbells. I don't know. So yeah, definitely be aware of. But I know about AirPods now. So
what about admissions of mistake? Do you like when somebody has a cheat meal or something to come in and tell you, or would you rather like, hey, I'm the trainer, I just want to hear the good news?
So for those words, again, part of my degree was sports physiology and sports psychology, and I don't actually like the words treat or cheat. Yeah, I'm a big.
Meals, or you'll you don't like hear the words?
That. Yeah, I don't like the words, because you'll hear that so across
meal? Just be honest about it.
I just think it should be part of your nutrition.
Yeah.
Once a week, you want to have some ice cream, let it be part of your nutrition. It's just keep it, because I think when you start to say the word treat, then you're eating so well all week to get to that bad food or whatever. So I just think it should just be part of your daily routine and not use that. I mean, again, I've the comedy of where some clients just come in. I had a client just recently, and she's in really good shape. So she walked in eating a brownie, and she's like, well, it's just better that you see it. Like, this is not pre-workout. I've had clients walk in with like bottles of Coke, like literally Coca-Cola. And I'm like, no, we don't drink that during our session. Yeah, so that's coming in. I always appreciate that people are very honest, but sometimes, telling me, Sarah, I'm really sorry, I kind of accidentally had like 10 cocktails last night.
Oh damn. I'm trying to work out the next day.
Yeah, I love the way they try to just slowly wiggle their way around of like, if I just am upfront and honest, I won't, you won't give me 400 burpees to work this off. So.
Instead of being like, you made bad choices.
Yeah.
If I'm going to choose, I always eat like chocolate and sugary stuff. I choose to do it in the morning, so I have all day to burn it off rather than at night, and then I don't think about it and I don't crave it or anything like that either. I just get it done and over with and move on with my day.
So if someone was going to eat one bad thing, is it better in the morning than at nighttime?
Well, again, food for me is fuel. So food is calories, and the calories are used for exercise, gecko wearing, running around in, and
gecko dancing. Yeah.
So if those, and that's why you either lose weight. That's the simple formula. If you eat more than you burn, you put on weight, and if you eat less than what you burn, you lose weight.
So you don't think it matters too much if the calories are right before bed? Will they go more likely to go to my fat? And then if I do it in the morning, are they more likely to go to my, walking around and doing errands? Or
if you're, personally, I totally agree with Shrey. If you're eating those calories in the morning and then you're burning them up and using them, I think that's a better way to do it. Yeah.
So what are you going to feed these guys?
What
horses eat, or are you going to go with human food?
Well, I'll go for the human food. I don't know if hay is really good for.
Hay. They'd barf, right? We can't even eat hay.
I think we can.
That's how horses eat.
It's grass.
That's all horses eat. They just eat grass.
Well, and vegetables.
I mean, we have wheatgrass shows. Yeah, you could probably.
Horses seem so strong. They can do that all from grass.
They eat like oats and grains and vegetables and stuff too.
Yeah.
And it can
Like-
make that much muscle?
Like all the super like lean animals, they don't eat meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it's
all the-
weird to think about, actually. So do you think you can be buff being a vegetarian?
Yeah, there are some like very good bodybuilders out there that are vegetarian, and
But not many, right? Or is it
not too many.
because they don't... Is it because it's harder? Or
It's a
because
lot
it's
harder.
equally hard? They just... not as popular.
It's hard. It's easier to eat meat and get your protein from meat and fish.
Right. And
Well,
then all
imagine
the
a horse that would
nutrition.
eat...
Yeah.
A horse that was eating meat would be huge.
Well, they're just built genetically differently as well. I mean, I personally haven't studied horse nutrition, so I wouldn't like to majorly comment on that. But, I mean, I know they eat hay and meal and things like that.
What about fruit flavored candy? Is it close to fruit or not?
Oh no, you can't. Don't be coming
But you know
in
what I
to me
mean? Like
like,
there's banana flavored Starburst, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Would you say it's half of eating a fruit?
no.
Nothing.
The answer is just no.
Then why does it taste
Um,
like a banana?
Because artificial flavoring is a thing. No, I remember I had this one client, and you know, thankfully she was 17, so we could like kind of tackle these little issues quickly. But she had absolute aversion to all fruits, vegetables. Didn't want to eat them. Didn't want anything to do. Not one. And so I was like, right, okay, this is for me. I like a challenge. So I was like, right, well, so I was slowly, okay, how can we just slowly build her and change her habits? Okay, can we get her into eating like tomato soup? Can we get her into like, so we started trying little different things, and she came in one day and she was so excited, and this is where like that kills me of the lack of education. She was like, Sarah, I ate some fruit last night. And I was like, no way. And she's like, I had coconut. And I'm like, okay, well, not really a fruit, but like kind of, all right, we'll go with it.
Got some fiber in it.
Yeah, it's kind of, not what I was going for. But she was like, I had in the UK called a Bounty Bar, which is shredded coconut with sugar, like all condensed in, covered in chocolate. And she
like a
genuinely, she had a Snickers with coconut in it, basically. And she really thought that she had a piece of fruit. So I was like,
goodness.
okay, this is going to be a bit more
So,
of a
right, but it's okay for now. But when you're 18, this isn't going to fly.
Yeah.
You have to know what fruit is at that point.
we got to work on this a little bit more.
Bulking and cutting, is that real or fake?
Yes, it's definitely real.
Why not
So-
just build muscle and...
As you'll hear with bodybuilders or anyone, in the gym who's trying to get a bit bigger, they'll do this bulking season, so they will increase their muscle size.
Like, I'm in bulking season, don't judge me. Like, well, why not just bulk?
It's
and
because they
not
are,
bulk or whatever.
yeah, they're eating more fuel to add more size to their muscles, and it's like I said to you, where they're eating a higher calorie intake to help with that build of the muscle. And then they will go through that cutting phase where they actually, their muscles have gotten so big at a certain size, and they don't want to lose strength, but they want to cut their body fat. So they will eat less calories than they're actually burning, and that helps burn up the body fat.
What about muscle memory? Is that real?
100%.
Someone
So-
who's buff and then gets skinny is different than someone who's skinny from the beginning?
Getting buff and then dropping weight, that's more, if they're still training through it, the more muscle memory is about someone who, if they are injured or take time off. So say if someone, like yourself now, Dylan, you've been training solidly 5-6 days a week for a year.
Yeah.
When you first started last year, the muscles were obviously at the very base level, and we had to build that base, then build the strength, and all the way through. If you took a month or two off and went back into your weights, you would find that your muscle would remember, and you would increase your weights quicker.
Okay, so
Then when
improved
you were-
memory.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of people sometimes, if they have an injury, or if you really badly you do a muscle sprain, have a muscle sprain or something like that, and you have to take a bit of time off, people panic about it. I'm like, if it's only a short time, don't worry, you'll get back to where
What
you're
about
at.
Does she have stretch memory? Same
Yeah,
thing? Like,
yeah.
if you didn't stretch for a while, can you get into it quicker than I could?
Yeah, I actually do that quite a bit. So I
lose
break
some of
up
it?
training to decrease plateauing. So I'll take some time
Oh.
off to let my body heal and not be sore for a while, and then get back into it refreshed.
So what does one of your stretch training routines look like?
it's active stretching, and we'll do it for like short periods of time to warm up. So it won't hold it for like minutes at a time. It would be like for like half a minute or something like that, and do it maybe 3 or 4 times.
Can you breathe when you're like
it's difficult?
Arched back and stuff?
Yeah, you have to do very shallow breathing because all your organs are being smushed. And you have to breathe through your nose. It's hard to breathe through your mouth because it like contracts your diaphragm too much.
Have you ever had any issues with dirty equipment, or now that we're like out at this farm and we're out in nature, what are you going to recommend so these guys don't get sick? Because back legs is touching his stomach all day, so he's going to get a lot of sweat from front legs, I guess, on his hands.
Sounds slippery.
Oh yeah. Oh, to slip down their belly. Yeah.
You might need gloves.
Yeah, no one be putting on any baby oil in those costumes.
Or what's the stuff I see the really professional guys using? That's like
the res.
Yeah. Would you recommend that for the back legs to hang onto this?
Yeah, because the whole point of the chalk is it gives you a little bit extra grip for the likes of the bars and things like that.
So you think that would help with back legs pantomime?
Yeah. So chalk. So a sport I love is to watch is rugby.
Okay.
And have you ever seen when they come into a scrum together?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you've
cool
seen where they lock
yeah.
heads. And what those guys actually do is the guys behind, they reach through the person in front's legs and grab onto their waist, like the waist bit of their shorts.
Mm-hmm.
No room for error there.
Yeah, so you can always, I mean, that's why you see them take a minute to get ready. So maybe Usain Colt needs to make sure that he's very careful of where he grabs. I one time, came in and I was doing like an hour of pad boxing with one of my friends who's 6'4", so I was like reaching up and my wraps, I didn't realize, like slipped down. I still actually have the scarf on my little finger there. Yeah. And I took the skin off my finger. I woke up the next day and I had a couple of clients before a hockey game. And I was like, geez, my right arm is dead here. Like, I must have done a really good session. And thankfully, my first client was I train a cardiologist. And she's like, Sarah, like, are you okay? And I was like, oh, my arm. I was like, yeah, just big session yesterday. She says, no, why is that? Let me look at your arm. And I had a red line tracking all the way up my arm. And I contracted a blood infection from dirty using the gym's clubs, or the boxing.
And your client
gloves.
saved you?
My client, who was a cardiologist, we were thankfully the first 5 minutes in the lucky session, because it went up into the back of my arm, and then I obviously went into my back. I couldn't see the red line anymore. So she stopped the session, took me straight to the pharmacy, wrote a script for me then, and gave me an antibiotic script. And she was like, go home, lie down, don't do anything. Take these antibiotics. You've got to take 3 here now and then every 4 hours because that can be really dangerous. Yeah. I mean, I went and played hockey later that day. But, listen to the professionals.
I think that beeps the end of it. So should we do some reactions now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Sorry, that's it. You're going to need to bring me back for a different one.
I know. I just feel like